be scared? I'm sick of her weird little habits. She's a child, Greg. Leave her alone. You're too old for this creepy thing. Emma had always been a quiet, imaginative child. Her world was a blend of dreams and whispered stories only she could hear. She found comfort in Mara, the porcelain doll her father had bought her before he died. Since his passing, the doll had been her only secret friend in a world that felt colder and harder every day. Linda stood at the window staring out at the storm. The rain lashed against the glass, thunder shaking the house. She sighed, running a hand through her messy hair. Her thoughts drifted back to a time before the storm. Before Greg, before everything felt like it was closing in on her. David, Emma's father, had been her world. He was kind, patient, and always knew how to make her laugh. Together, they had dreamed of a future filled with love and family, a future that would never be. Then, in an instant, that future was gone. David had died in a car accident. It was a head-on collision, the kind that ripped away everything in one brutal moment. Linda felt like the earth had cracked open beneath her feet. She had been drowning in grief, trying to keep everything together for Emma, who was just 4 at the time. And then came Greg. At first, he had seemed like a lifeline, a friend of David's, someone Linda trusted. Greg stepped in after David's death, offering support and comfort. Linda, exhausted from the overwhelming grief, welcomed him. But soon, his kindness began to feel more like control. His temper was like a storm cloud that never left. Linda wanted to believe that he could be a better father figure Emma needed. But with each passing day, Greg's true nature came to light. Emma had grown wary of him, and Linda could see it. The way Emma looked at Greg with suspicion in her eyes. But by then, Linda felt trapped. Greg had moved in. And despite everything, she married him, thinking maybe things would get better. She had wanted to believe that he could be the man they needed. She never could have known how wrong she was. A few days after the storm, Emma woke up to find Mara sitting on her bed. The doll was soaked, her porcelain skin smeared with dirt, her once glassy eyes dull from the rain. Emma's heart skipped. How did she get here? "Mom!" she called out, her voice shaky. Linda hurried into the room, her eyes widening in confusion. "How is this possible?" she whispered, looking at Mara. She knew Greg had thrown it away. She'd seen it with her own eyes. Greg stormed in, his face red with anger. "What is this, Emma? You think you can just keep it after I told you it was trash?" Before Emma could answer, Greg snatched Mara from her hands. "You're too old for this crap." He stomped down the hall and threw the doll into the fireplace, lighting a match. Emma watched in horror, tears filling her eyes as Mara's glass eyes glistened in the flames. The doll was gone for good. That night, Linda was awoken by soft giggling coming from the hallway. She quickly got up and tiptoed to Emma's room. Her daughter was fast asleep, her small body curled under the covers. But then Linda noticed it. The closet door was slightly open. She walked over and gently shut it. "He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have hurt me." Linda froze. She turned on the light. But the closet was empty, the air still. It was almost 1. Linda heard the front door slam shut. Greg was finally home. He stumbled into the living room, his face red and his words slurred. The weight of their money problem seemed to hang heavy on him. He was drunk, his anger simmering just beneath the surface. "Greg, you're bleeding. How did this happen?" Don't act like you care. "How did this happen?" "Wallet's empty. Bar fight. It's your fault. All of this. You can't even manage money. You have to stop this, Greg. You're wasting your life. You're ruining our life." But before Linda could say more, he lunged at her, violently shoving her against the wall. "Mom!" Emma screamed from the hallway, running in to stop him. But Greg didn't care. His eyes locked on her, a cruel sneer spreading across his face. In a fit of rage, He snatched one of Emma's drawings of Mara. You and your stupid doll. It's all you care about. Grow up, you little freak. He ripped up the drawing in half and threw it on the floor at Emma's feet. Emma's body shook with fear, but she stood frozen, her eyes on the shattered image of Mara. Just then, a cold gust of wind blasted through the room, rattling the windows. Linda rushed in, pulling Emma close. Come here, baby. It's okay. I've got you. Let's get away from him. Right now. That night, Greg was awoken by a soft, porcelain tapping. He looked around the dark room, but no one was there. The house felt unnervingly quiet. Greg stared into the bathroom mirror, his hands braced on the sink. Behind him, something moved. Mara's reflection. He spun around, but nothing. In a panic, he rushed back to his room. To his horror, the ripped-up drawing of Mara was now reassembled on the nightstand. Her face was twisted, distorted in anger. The smile was gone. Sweating, paranoid, Greg ripped the picture apart again, throwing it into the trash. But when he walked away, the reflection in the mirror showed Mara again. Greg, are you okay? Do I look okay, you useless nag? Get out of here before I lose it. But Greg's mind unraveled daily. Something happened ever since that day. He was sleep deprived and haunted. He couldn't trust his senses. Whispers echoed in empty rooms. Shadows moved without light. Mara wasn't just tormenting him. She was inside him now. A few nights later, Greg lay awake, unable to sleep. The house was eerily quiet. Too quiet. He heard faint footsteps again, but this time, they seemed to be coming from outside. He rushed to the window, his heart pounding, but saw nothing, just darkness and rain. As he turned to walk again, something caught his eye. Mara's face, peeking through the rain-soaked glass, her wide eyes glowed unnaturally in the dark. Greg stumbled back in shock, but when he ran to check again, no one was there. The window was locked. Terrified, Greg tried to convince himself it was just his mind playing tricks. Greg spotted Emma in the hallway, clutching Mara. You put that thing on my bed, didn't you? What thing? That dang doll. I don't have a doll, Daddy. Get out of here. Greg lunged at Emma. Don't lie. It's in your hands. Linda rushed in, shielding Emma. Stop it, Greg. He froze. Emma's arms were empty. The doll was never there. But the following night, Greg couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. His eyes darted up around the room, constantly searching the shadows. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind made him jump. It felt like the house was closing in on him, like something was watching from the darkness. He lay there, his breath shallow, terrified to blink. The oppressive feeling grew stronger. Then, without warning, something icy and cold grabbed his ankle, yanking him violently off the bed. Greg screamed, but no sound escaped his mouth. His throat was frozen, his voice lost in the suffocating silence. The walls around him seemed to close in, and cold, tiny fingers crawled over his skin. Icy and relentless, he could feel them, climbing, wrapping, digging into him. Panicking, Greg looked down. There, sitting at the foot of the bed, was Mara. Her body was twisted, her head facing backward, her glass eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Her mouth didn't move, but Greg heard the whisper loud and clear. "You shouldn't have hurt me." "Here, take your meds. Try to rest, okay? I'll be right here if you need anything." "Do you see it?" "See what, Greg?" "It's there." "There's nothing there, Greg. You need to rest." Greg sat in his wheelchair, staring at the doll on the mantel. His body had been broken after the fall, but his mind was shattered by the relentless presence of Mara. He saw her everywhere. On the walls, reflected in the glass of his windows. Each time, her smile grew wider, more twisted. He could hear her whispering his name, her voice echoing in his mind. One night, as he stared at her from across the room, the weight of his guilt pressed down on him. "Leave me alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." The doll's expression didn't change. Greg could feel the fear rising, consuming him. In a fit of desperation, he grabbed the doll, holding it tight in his hands. Without thinking, he hurled it down the hallway. "Get away from me!" But that's when the real horror began. The floorboards creaked. A chilling sound crawled through the silence. The doll skittering across the floor like a spider, its tiny porcelain legs scratching against the wood. Greg's heart raced, his body frozen in terror. He watched, paralyzed, as the doll climbed up his wheelchair with unnerving speed, its cold fingers wrapping around his throat. No one will ever take you away from me again. The next morning, Linda and Emma found Greg sitting motionless in his wheelchair. His face was frozen in a horrific grin, his mouth open in a silent scream. His skin was cold, drained of life. Emma picked up Mara, cradling the doll gently in her arms. Mara came back.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.